thing for me, my grandma actually lives with me at home, or my bam Lai in Vietnamese. And I think a big thing that they've taught me is just like to work hard and really like respect your elders too. I think it's a really big thing that I've learned in the Asian community. It's a much more like collectivistic community, I'd say, versus individualistic.
Right.
So even like looking out for like your aunties and uncles and just paying them the most respect. Yeah. I think that we probably have the strongest connection out of like the grandkids, just because I have a 6-year age gap between me and my brother, and then a 4-year age gap between me and my sister. So I was always the one like taking care of them, and so I have a lot of the responsibilities taking care of her when I'm at home. Growing up, we always had like people constantly filtering in and out of our house. And we like to joke because like a bunch of different aunties and uncles that aren't related to me had keys to our house. So sometimes I'd like walk home from school or like get home from school and there'd just be like someone new in the house, just hanging out and like eating food with us. I think that family is like what you make of it, and it's like the bond between people. Being half Japanese and half Vietnamese, I definitely saw like two very different sides to the family. My Vietnamese family is like kind of crazy and wild. They're very loud and they are not afraid to be honest and blunt with you. Like they'll be like, oh, you ate too much, or why aren't you eating enough? Like that kind of thing. Yeah. It's really interesting to see like the dichotomy between those two sides of my family. And I don't know, I would say because my family, at least my immediate family, like they always tried to accept people as family, I didn't really see much of a difference between like how we acted. But you definitely do see like more real parts to yourself when you're with your family.
Right.
Growing up, I definitely think I tried to like hide my Asianness a little bit more. It's not like anyone like forced me to. I think I just wanted to like fit in, which is really sad. But I didn't notice that until I got to college. And so like since getting to college, I've been trying to embrace my culture more and like be proud of it. So I've seen that change in how I act. My mom would always pack like teriyaki salmon for lunch. And that was my favorite food growing up, it's so good. But I would actually like get embarrassed because people at school would be like, oh, it smells bad, like because you know you bring in your lunchbox, and like it sits all day until lunch. So then I like would stop bringing that to school, which is super sad. I'm like, that's some of my favorite food, you know, like I shouldn't have been like sad about bringing it to school. The good aspects though, like I really appreciated, we always celebrated Tet growing up, which is the Vietnamese version of Chinese New Year or Lunar New Year.
Yeah.
And that was just like an amazing experience. All the cousins and like grandparents would come together, and yeah, I loved that. I actually got to join the Asian Student Union at my university, and I think that helped a lot. And just like seeing how beautiful Asian culture is and being like, oh, I don't have to be ashamed of this. Like, this is something amazing. And then also just exploring like both the Vietnamese and Japanese aspects of my life has been really amazing.
Yeah.
So I think it's just like celebration of your culture and being proud of who you are and like seeing the beautiful aspects to being Asian. Yeah, just being proud of it. Like we have great food. Like we
absolutely
best be celebrating that, you know?
Yeah.
Like now I'm like, oh, I'll cook pho for you, I'll cook curry for you, like, you know, just like gathering together in fellowship and like being able to appreciate those aspects. Yeah, and I think also tradition too. There's so much deep-rooted tradition within Asian culture. And like I talked about previously with like Tet, or we have this like practice called Damgyo, which is just honoring your ancestors. And so all the cousins, aunties, uncles would come together just for a meal and remembering our past ancestors. I think that was really amazing. I think definitely for like my grandparents, I can see that. They never told us to be like ashamed of our culture. And I really have so much respect for them because my grandpa actually came over from Vietnam. So my mom's side, they're all Vietnamese immigrants. My mom came over when she was 8, so super young. And then my grandpa, or my Y, he started from nothing. Like he started working at a donut shop here. He didn't know English and like worked his way up. So it's just amazing to see his resilience and like how much he's done. I'm so appreciative of how much my parents have sacrificed too to get me where I am today. Like just reflecting on that and like how much they've done for me as well. I think a thing I'd like to add was we actually got to go back to Vietnam 39 years after my mom left, and that was such an amazing experience. So I've never actually really been out of the country besides that. They like saved up for years so we could go back. And it was amazing getting to see like the elementary school she went to, like their house that was taken away. I think that was a really special moment that I'll remember. I would say, oh my, mom, dad, thank you so much for all that you've done for me. All my aunties and uncles, I love you so much, and thank you for raising me to be